Fanorona, a checkers variant that first appeared in Madagascar around the year 1680. It has since adopted an interesting set of rules and a unique form of capture. Start by placing your pieces on every point on the rows closest to you. Make sure the middle row has alternating pieces and that the middle space is left empty. The setup is now complete. The goal of the game is to be the first player to capture all of your opponent's pieces. There are two forms of capture in the game: capture by approach and capture by withdrawal. To capture by approach, a player would move towards an opponent's piece so that it is now adjacent to theirs. The opponent's piece is captured along with any of their other pieces that follow in a straight and unbroken line. The capturing stops only when hitting the edge of the board, an open space, or the player's own piece. To capture by withdrawal, a player would move away from an adjacent opponent piece. The opponent's pieces would then be captured in the same manner as when capturing by approach. There are times where a player will be able to move one of their pieces towards an opponent's piece and away from another simultaneously. In this case, the player gets to choose to either capture by approach or withdrawal. You cannot capture by approach and withdrawal in a single movement. Back to our game. On a player's turn, they may move one of their pieces by one space along any of the lines it sits on. For example, if black were to go first, they would have the option to move one of these four pieces to the middle space. Let's say they decide to move this piece here, which would result in them capturing two of red's pieces. It's now red's turn, and it's here I'll mention that capturing is compulsory. In other words, if a capture move is possible, it must be taken. With that in mind, you can see red is left with only one option. That is to move this piece directly opposite to black's piece, which results in the capture of these three black pieces. Red's other possible moves here would only be legal if no capturing move was available. Just like checkers, players can perform multiple capturing moves in a single turn if the board allows. Subsequent capture moves are optional, meaning players can decide to end their turn after the first compulsory capture if they choose. The one condition to this rule is that only a single capture move is allowed the first time a player captures in the game. A capture move being one that results in capturing one or more pieces, not only a single piece. Back to our game, we can see that if this wasn't red's first capture move of the game, they would have had the option to move an additional space and capture one more of black's pieces. The second black piece on this line would be safe as there is an open space between them. However, as we know, this was red's first capture move of the game, so in this case, it would not be allowed. Lastly, there are a few conditions when making multiple capture moves in a single turn. 1. Players may not move along a line already traversed during the turn in either direction. 2. Players may not return to a point that was previously occupied by them during the turn. And 3. Players may not capture in the same direction twice during their turn. The game continues until a player captures all of their opponent's pieces and wins the game. If a player ever becomes stuck and cannot move or capture, the game immediately ends in a draw. And that's it. You're now ready to play Fanorona. Thanks for watching.
Checkers got a cousin game, Fanorona be its name. Strategy and thinking tight, every move feels just right. Slide them here and slide them there, winning this game like a billionaire. Fanorona, oh what a thrill, making moves with a patient will.